طيب، فبدي أحاول أحكي عن حلين وجدتهم لمشكلة التايمرز، وللأسف ما في غيرهم. هذول الحلين في ضمن البرامج التي نستخدمها، في ضمن الممكن أصلا، يعني في واقع البرامج اللي هو فيديو كونفرنسينج والشيرنج سكرين وهاي الأمور. عندنا حلين. الحل الأول هو الأسهل والأبسط، ولكنه قد يعني لا يعطينا النتيجة المطلوبة بحد ذاتها، وهي انه نورجي التايمر والشاشة بنفس الوقت. ليش بحكي الحل الاول احسن؟ لانه احنا في normally، يعني in under normal circumstances الاوسكي تبعنا بيجوا الطلاب نحكي لهم start now and then هم اصلا بيكونوا شارحين ساعاتهم، يعني ما معهم ساعة يشوفوا الوقت كم. تمام؟ just يعني stating facts. فالستودنتس ما معهم ساعة، ما بيشوفوا الوقت، بس بسمعوا الجرس اللي برا انه 2 minutes remaining، بعدين تنتن هاي الصوت اللي بيطلع انه this station is over. تمام؟ طيب، احنا بامكاننا شو نسوي عشان to achieve this to achieve something as close to this as possible or something similar to this effect. What we can do is basically, I can tell you the details after I'm done speaking about these two solutions. But for now, I'm just giving you the ideas. What we can do is we tell the examiners to open a web browser that has a stopwatch. This stopwatch, we can give it two, like two basically timers or two specific times at which it will make a sound, اللي هو زي 2 minutes remaining and the station is over. But this sound will only be heard by the examiner and not the student. So the examiner at 2 minutes remaining will have to inform the student that 2 minutes are left and inform the student that the time is up. How is this possible? Oh, first of all, let's say why it's not possible to show the student, the examiner, and the timer at the same time. لأنه Microsoft Teams and every single يعني video conferencing tool out there only allows, if you're sharing the screen, automatically your camera will turn off. I will show you. Now, for example, this is I'm in a meeting with myself here, Munder and Munder, my work and my student accounts. So if the camera might not show because I'm already using, this is the thing, like if you're using a camera for one program, it's taken up by that program and it will not open on the second program. But I will try to use the second camera. Okay, so if I open my camera here, now my camera is open. As you can see, this is the view of the second person and this is the view of the first person. Okay, so now this camera is being shared. As soon as I click on share Chrome tab, see, automatically the camera will shut off. It is not like it just doesn't happen to share a Chrome tab plus camera. See, it's not allowed. It says here you can share your video when you're done screen sharing. This is why it's not possible to share the screen of the timer at the same time as sharing the video for the eye-to-eye contact. So I'm gonna stop sharing. Now I can press the camera again to open it. Okay, so what are we left to do? Regarding the first method, there are two options. One of them doesn't make any sense. The one that doesn't make any sense is to tell the students to time themselves as well as the examiners to time themselves. هلا احنا we don't want to involve, the fewer the people involved in taking these steps the better, to reduce the human error. So what do we do in this case? We tell the examiners 2. While they have the Microsoft Teams meeting going on with the student, this is pretty simple and easy and very doable for the examiner. And I don't think there is a problem in the examiner telling the student that you have 2 minutes remaining. The only issue here, if any, is that the examiner might be interrupting the student to tell him that he or she may have 2 minutes remaining. By the way, it's good that we gave ourselves an extra minute, 8 instead of 7, because during this minute, the organizers will use the time to, one, change the student, take the student out of this station and put them in the other station, and bring a student from the previous station and put it in this station, because they're responsible for making the students come in and out of the stations. So that requires some time. It only takes a few seconds. It is doable though. Speaking of which, let me show you. Not here, sorry. It's in my other account. Virtual OSCE mock. All the organizers have to do is to basically just click on station 1, station 2, station 3, station 4, and in the meeting they have to click on this guy and remove participant and enter the next student's name, which we will have on a printed piece of paper, on a different tab, whatever we have it, we will have it. Okay? Anyway, to bring the other students, so we need some time. This is why we need 1 extra minute at least. The rest of the time, the rest of this single minute that we have, it's fine. It should be enough. If not, 2 minutes will be more than enough. So, all the examiner has to do is have this website open. I will share it with you. So, this website, if you want, I can write these steps in text format so that they can be viewed more easily and you can go back to them at a later point instead of rewinding the video or rewatching it. Anyway, this website, it has a stopwatch and a timer. The ideal thing to use, according to what I have seen, is to use this stopwatch. Okay? So, what will the examiner do? All the examiner has to do is to, this is something we will do beforehand, set alert and sounds. We will put an interval sound at 5 minutes, after 5 minutes have passed, that is, and the second sound at 7 minutes. Okay? Close. And now the organizer has a channel. The organizer has a channel that includes all the examiners. The organizer will say, start now. Okay? When the examiner says start now, everyone in the channel will receive a message down here, in the corner, like when the students text you. I will show you how that looks like. I will text myself anyway, like when somebody texts, let me see if it will show up. I just want to show you the notification. I'm sure you know how it looks like. Okay, this won't appear because I'm talking to myself. Yani. If I'm here, it will show. Tamam. Anyhow, so the examiner, all the examiners will receive this message, this pop-up that says start now. As soon as they receive it, we need no input from them. All they have to do is click on start. That's it. Then they go back to the tab where they're meeting with the student, and they will hold their station as expected. The examiner will hear beeps or whatever the alarm is set out to be at 5 minutes and then at 7 minutes. At 5, I will make the time shorter just to show let's make this 5 seconds and this one at 10 seconds. We can have different sounds, but these are the most, like, they are alarming and at the same time they're gentle. The others are yani, deafening, the sounds that I've checked. Like, this is how this one sounds like. There are different sounds. Okay, let's just keep it at this. So start. The examiner here will be conversing with the students. They will hear the first beep, and then the second beep when the exam is over. After the station is over, the examiner just pauses, resets, and then awaits the second message to start now. That is the first method. I will, if there are any questions, I will answer them in tomorrow's meeting. But for now, I just wanted to demonstrate what is possible. Okay. Now, the second method. Regarding the second method, it is more complicated and uses yet another program. And I'm not sure about how feasible it is. Because first of all, it requires more computational power. And I'm not sure the computers of the university are capable of this. Second of all, it requires more teaching. Third of all, it allows for more errors. What do I mean by that? For this, we actually need a studio to display something other than the what traditional video conferencing tools use. You need studio applications, like the one I'm using to create this video right now. This is how I'm showing my video and the screen at the same time. So for this, it's actually difficult to show while recording this because the screen will change. Anyway, I can teach people to use this program, but I don't know if they will be proficient at using it. Not because I think that they won't be able to, but maybe they don't want to or we don't have time. Basically, the idea is that like I'm sharing my screen now, I will share the timer and I will share the sound, and instead of the student seeing me from Microsoft Teams itself, like instead of the student and the examiner seeing each other from Microsoft Teams itself, the idea is that the student will see the examiner's screen from that program, which includes the examiner's camera and the cropped out timer. How does it look like? It looks like this. Actually, I'm not sure. Hold on. I think it should show now. Let me just scroll down. So this is how it looks like, tamam. If I show you I cannot show how this looks like because it is like recording right now, but I can send a screenshot later on. However, this is how it would look like. Now I'm sharing my video as well as the sound of my computer. So we will go to Teams. This is how it will look like, okay? We will go to Teams. We will share the window of OBS. Okay? This is what will happen. Then we'll go here. We'll switch this tab. We'll press start. And this is how it looks like. Okay. let me do this again. We will make this full screen. So this is the meeting now. This is the wait a second, let me show you. المشكلة I can't show you right now because يعني I'm doing two things at the same time. First of all, I am like it's multiple levels of recording. And I'm recording the okay, let me perhaps this is and it is happening, but I cannot show it to you. So this is how it looks like. Of course, you can see that there is some lag because it requires like extremely good internet and extremely good capabilities. But now, as you can see, I'm not showing my camera, but rather I'm showing my camera through the program. And instead of the thing you're looking at right now, which is the program, we will choose the scene that had the timer at the bottom, uh, which will allow it to be shown to the student. Of course, this is more complicated, but I thought I would show it because it is the only way to show both. The bottom line is telling the examiners to use that, telling the examiners to use the online stopwatch program is the best and simplest way to achieve what we want given the resources that we need. Like if we had Google Fiber with like with gigabyte speed internet, maybe it would be possible. And if we had computers that are much more advanced, it would be possible in that case. And this would apply on the students as well. They would have to have extremely fast internet and extremely good computers. Like even with my computer, which is pretty good, and my internet speed, which is faster than the university, it was still like laggy, the connection using Microsoft Teams. And it will be laggy with the students regardless. It's just that the lag has increased because we're doing multiple levels of broadcasting. I wish that Microsoft had the ability to share the screen and the video at the same time. I even checked a separate program, which was Zoom, but Zoom doesn't have the capabilities we need in terms of having, teams and text and having the participants and who's attending and who's not and that sort of thing. So for example, this is Zoom now, sharing my screen, I know. So this is how Zoom looks like, and then if we share the screen with Zoom, as far as I can tell, if I am not mistaken, Zoom allows you to share the screen like this. طيب. يعني my face will be instead of this circular thing. And I think that the person I'm conversing with using Zoom will be able to see my screen in a huge format and my face in this square that they can resize themselves. But then we would have to teach the students how to use Zoom, the examiners how to use Zoom, and we won't have all the other features of Microsoft Teams. And it would be يعني tremendously, excruciatingly more difficult for the organizers to add and remove people. I don't know if it's even possible. For me personally, I don't know how to use. This is the first time I'm using today. I think it would be difficult to handle transfer of students and from different stations. It's just a nightmare of يعني management using Zoom for the context that we want to use. Like if I'm giving a lecture, sure, I will just add the participants, share my screen, put my video, talk. But if I want to change or bring this guy out or bring this guy in, security, وما security, chat, timer, ومتى, and it's a headache, and it requires like it requires the session to be given like a seminar to be given to people or a webinar in these coronavirus times. So that is all I have to say. That is all. Like these are the three ways that are possible. Like in the world, I'm saying, يعني maybe people in America in the CIA have some different thing, but يعني as far as my capabilities and the public's capabilities go, and I have consulted with people online, and they have told me this is the only possible way, because video conferencing is one thing. Video conferencing, which is Microsoft Teams, Zoom, the world is just unprepared for such a thing. And we're trying to innovate some ways to handle this issue. ف they told يعني video conferencing is one to one or one to many or many to many, and يعني if you want to share your screen, your video will go, unless يعني you have something like this program that I'm showing right now, OBS, and you يعني link them together in some way. تمام. This is the second way. The first way was the timer. The examiners have the timer and they tell the students when. And the third way is using Zoom on top of يعني Microsoft or يعني أصلا without Microsoft Teams. يعني just throw Microsoft Teams away and use Zoom. And Zoom is not good because right now يعني there is a scandal going on that Zoom has يعني security issues so much that the governments have stopped using Zoom because of the security issues with Zoom. They're trying to update it وما update it وما بعرف شو. They're still working on it. But Zoom has security issues. And if I show you here, there are many articles about it. Just write Zoom security and you will find Zoom security fallout, what Zoom is doing to make its service safer, ما بعرف شو يعني. If you see the news, you will find lots of things about privacy concerns, security concerns, إلى آخره. This is what I have, and we'll talk about this tomorrow with the other clinical tutors and